testing the idea shown here. The average directional index was created by Wells Wilder with the intention of having an objective measurement of the strength of a trend. The ADX doesn't tell you what the direction of the trend is, so we have to use other indicators or chart analysis to help us determine the trend. I'm using a 50 moving average. My rule simply states that if the slope of the MA is down, we got a downtrend. If there's no real slope in the MA, we got sideways. And if the slope is up, we got an uptrend. ADX is calculating by using a moving average of price expansion over a specific period. The default settings are 14, the same one as I've chosen here. But you can of course change this so it suits your style and time frame. ADX oscillates between 0 and 100 where readings above 60 are rare. It is therefore important for you to split up the values into categories you can rate the strength of a trend. 0 to 25 sideways market, 25 to 50 trending market, 50 to 75 strong trending market, 75-100 very strong trending market. So we now know that ADX tells us the strength of a trend. So what can we use this for? We should trade trending market different from sideways market. A good example is when you're using RSI. Here you see RSI overbought indicating a sell signal. But by looking at the price you see that price never really dropped, giving you any profit. So how can we avoid going short here by using ADX? If you look at ADX you see that it's climbing, crossing up through 25 and keeps climbing. So ADX could have helped us avoiding going short here. If you then look at ADX over here, it's consecutive underneath 25 and we have a relative flat ADX. Now look at the RSI signals here. Oversold, bounce right up to overbought, gets rejected down to oversold again. These signals are much better than when you got RSI over here. So ADX helps us not to go short against the trend if it's too strong. But what other ways can we use ADX? Here's some other ideas. Here's one of my favorite use of ADX. First, I identify the trend. I'm looking at my MA and I see that it's upsloping. So the trend is up. I will only take trades from the long side. Second, I'm going to look for a consecutive low reading of ADX together with sideways price action. Third, I'm going to look for a break of 25 in ADX and a break of the sideways price action. And fourth, I'm going to see that ADX is climbing and then I will wait for my signal, which in this case is a flag. I consider this a high odds trade. Here's another way to use ADX. I'm going to approach it in a similar way. First, I'm going to identify the trend and I can see that the MA is upsloping, so the trend is up. I'm only going to take trades from the long side. Second, I'm going to find a ADX above 25 and rising, which I find here. Then I'm going to look at the chart waiting for my signal. Here I'm getting a triangle. I consider this a high odds trade as well. Okay, now we have seen ADX combined with chart patterns. But can we use other indicators together with ADX? Here's a chart with stochastic plotted on. I'm going to approach it in a similar way. I can see that the MA is upsloping, so the trend is up. I only want to take trades from the long side. Second, I'm going to identify ADX above 25 and rising. And third, I'm going to wait for my signal. In this case, it's an oversold stochastic. This ends today's video about ADX. I hope you enjoyed it.